Jamaica, like most of the English-speaking Caribbean, has a significant portion of its population engaged in farming and agriculture. The agriculture sector employs 20% of the labor force, but contributes a disproportionate 5.4% to GDP. Jamaica has 220,000 small farmers who occupy 77% of lands under cultivation, and their only income is revenue from their farming. Jamaica also has a network of agro-processing firms, and like the hospitality industry, they depend on imported raw materials due to the lack of year-round local supply. The agricultural sector already impacts the lives and livelihoods of many Jamaicans and has vast economic potential if the industry is systematically developed. Sector stakeholders have recognized agriculture's potential and identified the need for the development of a private sector-led strategy. The strategy development was funded by the European Union through the All-ACP Agriculture Commodities Program and championed by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. The lead technical agency was the International Trade Center. Other international and regional organizations like CARICOM, CARDI, Oxfam, the World Bank, FAO, and UNCTAD provided support to the sector stakeholders for the development of this strategy. Using the value chain approach, the strategy was developed by more than 120 sector stakeholders representing government institutions, development agencies, farmers, processors, buyers, and lending institutions. The implementation of the strategy represents a window of opportunity for Jamaica to reduce expenditure on fresh and processed food imports and also to boost exports. Jamaica's food import bill was approximately $886 million in 2008, a good indicator of the local market potential. It is expected that the agricultural and food processing strategy will positively impact the Jamaican economy by increasing revenue inflows while reducing the dependency on overseas remittances and on traditional sectors such as sugar and bauxite alumina, which together accounted for an average of 63% of total exports between 2002 to 2008. The strategy was launched by the Honorable Christopher Tufton, Minister of Agriculture, and by the Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Finance, in October 2009.
The size of the processed food industry in Jamaica is about $250 million. It is conservatively estimated that the potential size could be 10 times that much. That's $2.5 billion. That would dwarf the bauxite industry. So I think that we have to get our act together. We've got to get serious. I welcome the International Trade Center and the work that they're doing for us. I welcome all of our development partners. I welcome the work of the Scientific Research Council.
Critical stakeholder groups that include, of course, the farmers of Jamaica, the agro-processors, all the critical players in the value chain, and have produced what was presented here today, which is a blueprint of where we need to go in terms of moving the process forward. As was said earlier by Mrs. Barnett and others, I fully, and certainly the Ministry of Agriculture has played its part, Don McGlashan being our main person there, we fully endorse and support the program.
The vision is to quadruple the output and value of Jamaican food products, including fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, roots, and tubers by 2020 and to contribute in a sustainable manner to the achievement of Jamaica's Vision 2030 National Development Plan.
Jamaica on a whole will need small farmers to take up because it will build the economy. Because if we don't start from here, we're going nowhere. Because we need to extend, not even South Manchester, but Jamaica in general.
The strategy will help us greatly because it gives us a tool to work with. And there are a number of other tools that the ministry has at disposal, and this will become one of those critical tools. It will also help us in guiding our relationship with existing players, where it's the processors, the farmers. And that's very important because if we get the farmers on board and we're on the same page, then it makes our job of selling the process, the plan, easier. So it's easy for us to go to the country and say, this is what we are proposing, without the dissenting voices that you normally would hear if you don't use a bottom-up approach to get people involved in the process.
We think it's a very good thing for the agricultural sector. We think it is structured in such a way that it looks at the big picture of development of the agricultural sector in Jamaica. The fact that the project could be broken down into objectives for farmers, processors and buyers, and the state, as well as technical assistance from international organizations, is instructive because it brings together the various elements that I think we as processors and exporters have been grappling with over time.
Small business enterprises have to be coordinated, back integrated into the farming community. So these have to be linked with producers who are provided information as to what the requirements of the particular establishment or processing facility will be. These requirements, when known, will have to be supported by other objectives within the strategy. The whole matter of organizing and training farmers to be able to deliver a quality product into the processing facility on time, consistency and quality. So the whole matter of the farmers being trained in good agricultural practices, in terms of the whole matter of understanding their role in the value chain. And as a matter of fact, the entire value chain has to be understood by both the processor, the buyer and the producer, so that at each time there is trust along the value chain as to exactly what is happening, the dynamics of the activities along the value chain, so that trust can be built, which will augur well for a sustainable development of any industry, particularly as we are speaking of fruits and vegetables, roots and tubers and herbs and spices.
The strategy implementation will focus on the revitalization of the fruits and vegetables, roots and tubers, and herbs and spices industries using the value chain approach. Because the strategy is being led by the private sector, it has enabled a sector-specific platform of public-private partnership for decision-making.